Oopsy Daisy. I'm Ashley.
Tis I, Vanessa.
And so today we're going to be doing another AU courtesy of Vanessa because she loves her Mafia AUs.
Listen, this is just me not wanting to do another episode review. I'm like, we need to spice things up. Spice it up. It's like,
Yes, Vanessa is constantly being like, can we not do an episode review right now? Can we not do an episode review right now? And I'm like, we're supposed to be doing stuff about the show. Like,
this is about the show.
right, but it's not something that people necessarily know already.
Yeah, but guess what? Our last AU was a banger. People
The
loved this
Survivor.
Billie Jean and dark chocolate. They loved it.
Oh
There's
gosh.
even rumors of someone writing a story for it, which I have yet to see. So,
I would love to see that story and how it unfolds.
oh god.
But the thing about me with AUs is that they can be a completely different setting for the most part, but the characters have to still be them.
They're technically them.
Hmm?
They're still them.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying, in general, sometimes I'm very like if I see something's an AU in a fan fiction, sometimes I'm just kind of like, because I'm not sure how they're going to handle the characters.
You right.
Because a lot of times people, like, let's just say it's like a what, the medieval ages or something.
Yeah.
Though I don't really read many of those, but but let's just say like it's a medieval ages type of AU or something, and like these characters are not even like these characters. Like they basically just have
Their name.
characters' names. Like there's nothing's happening within the story that still remains them. Or
So
like even if like we were to make Derek and Casey superheroes somehow, some way, like people just use that as an excuse to like completely change people's characters and why you care about them in the first place. Because if the characters aren't the same, then their relationship really can't be the same. So then what's the point?
what I got out of this is that we're gonna get a medieval AU.
You would have to do that too, because I have no know shit about medieval AU. I wrote, not for Daisy, but for a different couple. I don't know. The girl's like a princess, and the guy's a baker, and it's supposed to take place like, yeah, Princess and the Baker.
I love it
And
already.
it's supposed to be like, I guess 1800s or something, maybe early 1900s. I don't know.
That's not
There's no
medieval at
clear
all.
distinction. No, but there's no clear like timeline because I suck at all that stuff and did not want to research.
So you saying
But
you
still, they were still them, despite all the differences.
so you're saying you're the exact opposite of me who actually researched time periods for this AU and the microscopic details of what happened.
Yes.
Ah,
Because
yeah.
it was a one shot. It wasn't like it was a full story. If it was a full story, then maybe. But it was a one shot. It was like this like little idea I saw, and I was like, "Ooh, that would be a good thing for that." So I did it. It took me forever to create, but yeah.
I get you. I see you.
But that's why I'm always very like weary about like AUs because people sometimes use that as an excuse to make them completely different characters,
Yeah,
and
add a
I don't like it.
character. Add a character. Okay. Because you know me. I think everyone's like a serial killer. So I thought, hey, what if we didn't go a serial killer route, but a mafia family route? Because they're Italian. And when you see Italians, you just immediately think, hey, mafia, the mob. That's actually really mean. So I don't think that. But for some reason, it just worked because he did the pox father. He already had that little thing
Yeah,
going
he
on. Yeah,
already
yeah.
basically is played into it.
Yeah, so that's why. So I ran with it. I ran with it and like I built a whole world, which starts with like Grandmama and Grandpapa Venturi immigrating from Italy to the States in the early 1900s.
They wouldn't have gone to Toronto.
You right. I don't know why I said the States. I wrote Italy in the early. They just okay. Yeah, I don't even know why I said the States because that was the era. The era. That's why. So they're going to Toronto. I'm so dumb. Thank you. Thank you.
And you're the Canadian.
And it's Canada Day. Like seriously.
Happy Canada
Can you tell
Day.
I just woke up?
I mean, no.
No, it's because I was up at 5:30. It's okay.
Jeez.
I have to
That was
get
at
back
least an
into
hour and a
work.
half ago.
I need to get back into the work life, okay? I'm starting Monday again because I'm not going to die of COVID. Woo!
Unlike us, who it's becoming greater chance every day.
Bruh, where are your masks?
I do wear my mask.
Apparently not the rest of your country.
Well, no, that's the thing.
Because
Because I drove down to Florida. I drove down to Florida this past weekend, and the further south I went,
the less masks. Oh my
mm-hmm.
god. Didn't
I
you
was like,
know?
oh my god, you people, get away from me. I do not want to, like, the only time I ever got out was to go to, like, the rest stops or something like that,
Yeah.
or, like, to get gas. And yeah, the farther south I went, the less mass I saw, and I was just like, get the hell away from me. I do not want to be anywhere near you people.
Bro.
Like,
They've done their research. You can't
oh yeah,
breathe
for sure.
if you wear a mask. It's not like surgeons wear them for 18 hours at a time doing a surgery, but I can't breathe.
Right. They've had nurses and doctors actually put on like that thing that
Oh, the
like
oxygenation meter thingy
yeah, it
majiggy.
reads their oxygen levels.
Yeah.
So it'd be like 99% without a mask, and then trying different masks on, they still have 99% oxygen.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Look at
So
my
it's just like,
mask. It's my mask. Isn't it pretty?
yes, it is. I have a Spider-Man one. I
Oh.
have a Flash one. I have a Buzz Lightyear one.
Buzz Lightyear. That's legit.
And then I have a little doggy one, but I don't like that one just because it's made weird.
I get
The
that.
other three masks were made more comfortable, so
I get that. Okay.
yeah.
So
Back on the
they
topic.
did
They go
not
to
immigrate to
Toronto.
the States. They went to Toronto. That was my bad. I'm just thinking because of what takes place. I read the line after. So Grandpapa Venturi, George's father, starts the family business of bootlegging alcohol into the States during the Prohibition.
Aha.
That's what confused me. All right. So since then, many members of the Venturi family take that job. Like they stay in the family business. That's good money. Of course it is. States can't have alcohol because apparently it's bad. Because the Lord of the temperance movement said no. So we need to get our rum from
I think
Canada.
that's just like one of many examples of why we're stupid. Because then, like, the next amendment in the Constitution is like, scratch that last amendment.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, like, I'm a history buff, so I listen to a lot of podcasts. Did you know that, like, people legit, because of the Prohibition, they would make their own, but they would use a different kind of alcohol that's not supposed to be used for alcohol?
I mean, I can see people doing that.
Yeah, but
but
here's
I
the
didn't know
thing.
about it.
Here's the thing. They
When
would
people were making it in their tubs.
Yeah, they would like steal the alcohol from like government whatever. So it was like the government's supply of something. I forget what kind of alcohol it was. But they kept putting stuff in it to make it poisonous. So you'd have to go through a distilling process to get it out. But people were too lazy to do that. They just wanted the alcohol as fast as possible. So people kept dying, and the states kept adding more and more of that poisonous material into it to say, well, you should stop drinking. But obviously, no one's going to do that.
Alcohol is killing you.
Not the government. It's the alcohol. So that was wild. That's a good, nice prohibition tip for you if you like history. Okay. So when we have the Venturis, who are the crime family, we obviously had to find a way to include the McDonald's, because this is the early 1900s we're going at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So by the time we think it's during the Prohibition. What time? We didn't even put a date for like when this thing happens between like the Venturi's and McDonald's thing. We don't even have a time slip for that. We're amazing. I'm amazing.
Maybe like 30s or 40s.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to say so. Thank you for...
Because it's probably after Prohibition.
Yeah, because now
But they're still big on...
crime.
Because of what happened.
Yeah.
So...
Yes. Okay, so, I don't know if we decided if the McDonald's are, like, just as they are, or if they're, like, immigrants as well. Because
Probably, maybe they're, like, older immigrants.
Okay, so... They
came over before the 1900s.
Okay, so they still got that.
So they're
Scottish,
more generational.
They still got that Scottish blood in them. So we decided that they own a restaurant in the little town of Toronto. The little town.
Yeah. So I wanted to say, is Casey's dad the owner of the thing, or did he die or something in this scenario?
Let's just say he's dead, because Dennis is dead to everyone in the McDonald's family.
Except for that one episode.
Except for that one episode. But then he's dead.
Same with Abby.
Well, Abby has actually a backstory in this.
Yeah, but...
Dennis does not. He's not cool enough.
But he created he had let's just say the McDonald's restaurant, he inherited it from his dad, maybe.
Maybe he has the family, like, fried chicken recipe.
But then he died.
Yeah.
Maybe at the hand of mob violence, but not necessarily the Venturi's mob.
Yes, crossfire.
Like, it's completely, like, something else happened. Like, he was walking down a street and someone, like, he just got in the middle of it. Yeah. And that's one reason why they hate them being there, but they can't do anything about it. I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, this is it. This is perfect. This is going to happen. They ran out of chicken for the family fried chicken recipe. Because apparently fried chicken's from Scotland. So, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I heard about it somewhere. I could be 100% wrong. Don't at me.
Do we have any Scotland people that can verify?
I don't know. Don't at me. Not at me. And he's like, I need to go to the butcher. Would the butcher have chicken? I don't think there's a poultry butcher somewhere.
I can't tell you if I've ever been to a butcher.
I've been, but I've seen exotic meats. Like...
Exotic meat?
Like crocodile.
Ew.
So, I don't know. Was ostrich there? I don't know. But chicken. Let's just say he went to the poultry section of the butcher. And he's like, good, I got my prime A poultry. And he was walking back to the restaurant because it was the dinner rush or the lunch rush. So he thought, I need to take a shortcut through this part of town. Little did he know that there was a mob fight going on and he got shot. Collateral damage. That's how Dennis is dead to everyone. Does it make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm just building on your idea. That's great.
But the Venturis were already, like, had their base at their restaurant for the most part. Like, their meeting base.
Because the Venturi crime family loves that restaurant, so they just chill there. They just chill there, they eat there, so they can't really do... You're not going to go up to a mob guy and say, get out of here.
But especially after Dennis died, the rest of the McDonald clan, they are... they're very even more, like, weary of them. They're just like, we really don't want them there. They can only bring more bad stuff to the business and everything. So that's setting the stage.
But what if, even if you got that bad stuff, you have a mob family that likes to eat there? That's like free protection money. Shit going on.
But also, it can, like, they could still come by and be like, well, we're going to shoot up this place because we know they congregate there.
True, but it keeps little people away that are evil. Like little ruffians. They're not going to go mess with the McDonald's chicken family restaurant.
I mean, no one's going to... It's like, if people, like, today, they're like, oh, I'm going to, like, complain to them because their chicken tasted terrible, and then you have like one of the Venturi people coming up like, "What the hell did you say about their chicken? Their chicken's great. What the hell?"
Amazing. It's not dry. Crispy. There's so much flavor. Yeah, there's no bad reviews that go on at the McDonald's Chicken Factory. So let's get into some character models, shall we? We
Mm-hmm.
saw George, who's taken up the mantle of Dom of the Venturi crime family because Papa is dead now. I'm guessing he's dead. He's gone. He's been shot. I don't know. Not old age because he just got there in early 1900s, so he's not going to die within that span, other than being shot. Or he died of dysentery if that's still a thing. I don't know. Is that a thing still?
What?
Dysentery.
Dysentery?
When they like the Oregon Trail and they died of dysentery. Is that
I have no idea what that is.
okay? Don't at Ashley for not knowing it.
I feel like I was the only person who didn't really know anything about the Oregon Trail.
Well, it's like they ate poopy water and then died.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, probably back then it probably could have been a thing, so.
Maybe it was Lyme disease. I don't know. He died of something. He died of something. Anyway, so he has taken over the crime family chief mantle. But he's still a lawyer because he has to pretend that he's a good guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So he has to look good for the public while still being the leader of the mob. Abby, she's dead. It's what I've decided. She was killed by a rival mob family after Marty's birth. So Marty's still there. We're good. But Abby, she gone.
And George is a lawyer. I don't know if you said that, did you?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Derek, I didn't want to make him be like, oh, he's the leader kind of thing. I'm like, no, Derek, he's lazy. He's lazy. We know this. We discuss it all the time. He can't even like go and grab a sandwich, or he can't even grab milk from the fridge. He has to have someone pour him cereal. So I just made him an enforcer. He doesn't want to run stuff. He just does. He's the tough guy, which he likes to make people think anyway. So he's the enforcer. When people fail to pay their like betting debts or their protection money, Derek is the one who's gonna beat the shit out of them. Which makes him sound not lazy, but he's too lazy to run something.
Though he did run it in the Poxfather.
I know, but this is a
But
different
still,
time.
he's too young.
He's too young.
He has to gain experience.
But
he's probably in the running, but
you know what? No, but because in the way I have it, I have them older in this, right?
Oh, I know, but even then, like George is still like what, 50?
I know, but I have like Edwin already like running stuff, just because obviously he's a way better protege than Derek.
Well, okay, but still, like it's still plausible for George to still be the head,
Yeah.
just because he's the patriarch.
Mm.
So even if Derek and Edwin are older, that doesn't mean that like that they have to automatically take it over yet. George has to probably die before that's like a thing.
Yeah, probably.
So, and then even Casey, if she's the same age as Derek in this, like she's going to be helping her mom with the business, especially because they're two women.
Yeah, and Casey's completely different, so she would be in charge of shit. But no, so I have Derek the enforcer, and I have Edwin as the money man.
Which makes sense.
It makes sense, yeah. So he runs all like the gambling betting rings. He like keeps all the records. Also, I did not take any of these things from Peaky Blinders, even though I watched that a lot writing this shit. Just saying.
I don't know what that is, so I wouldn't have been able to tell
you. Not know Peaky Blinders?
No.
It's literally the British mob. After World War I, it's legit.
Okay, but I still don't know.
You're gonna watch it after this.
I know things exist, but I don't know names or whatever.
You're gonna go on Netflix, and you're gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Okay.
It's back when opium was a thing, and people did opium.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, so He runs all the gambling and betting rings, and he keeps the books for everything. So he's
And
the
we already seen that within the past couple episodes. Like him and Derek were doing the bets, and he was keeping track of all of them. And
exactly.
you know,
He's got his
we know
binders.
we know Edwin basically as the money man anyway.
Yeah, he's got his binders. He likes keeping track of stuff with Lizzie with their research. So I figured, hey, this is it. This is the only place he can be.
The only place he can be.
Yeah. So we got Casey. She's the mole. a horrible name for Casey, but she's the mole. As you know, she doesn't run. She works at the chicken factory of the McDonald's, the chicken restaurant. And
make it sound like it's like the actual like McDonald's restaurant.
Maybe that's what it's called. McDonald's. But it's not a fast food.
But at that time,
place.
I don't think they were around, so it's fine.
Yeah, so they're legit McDonald's. So we're just gonna call it McDonald's. Oh my god, I love this. This is the best thing ever.
Little known fact, they're the what was it? They influenced.
Yeah, they influenced the fast food giant that is known today. The recipe for those damn good chicken nuggies is from the McDonald family. Yeah. It's damn good chicken nuggies.
Oh, I had them the other day. They were so good. I was like,
oh, they're so good. They're probably so bad. It's so good.
They're probably like not even chicken, but it's so good.
It's so good. It's just like the Teletubby paste.
Yeah.
But so good. Anyway, so as she works and pretty much lives and breathes with that restaurant of McDonald's, the Popo know this. They need a mole in the mob family business. So she's planted there. They decided, listen, you need to get in with these people. You got to get evidence on the crime family. We need to get them for racketeering, RICO case, blah, blah, blah. We're doing it. But guess what? As we all know, this is an AU. We all know it's going to not happen. And she's just going to fall in love with the big boy enforcer.
With the big boy.
The big boy enforcer himself. D-Rock.
So essentially, okay. So Dennis has died.
Dennis is dead.
So Nora has to take over the business. So obviously Casey is helping Nora with that. Lizzie's also helping, but let's just say she's still in school for like a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe she's like at the end of high school or something.
Yeah. So she can't be as big a part of it as Casey can.
Yes.
But
she's
still involved in it. Yeah. And so you have these Venturis who are there, and obviously because their dad and husband died of mob violence, they definitely don't want them there anymore because it's like a bad reminder, whatever. But so obviously the cops now, they want to go after the Venturis.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that they congregate there at the McDonald's. So they go to Casey. Well, I guess they have them all there at one point. They're just like, hey, we need to talk to you. And they're like, you know how you have that, like, Venturi people over here all the time? Yeah, we want to bust them for a bunch of shit to get them off the streets. And they're like, oh, that's great.
They killed my dad.
Well, I don't know if they killed them, because I think that would be even more
That's
bad
probably
blood,
what they think.
They could, yeah. But really, it was like a rival gang.
Yeah. They were like, oh man, that's Mr. McDonald right there. We gotta protect him and his chicken nugget recipe. And then like the rival gang was like, fuck that guy. And then
so the cops are gonna tell Casey, like, we need you to basically find your way in. And she's gonna be like, how the heck do I do that? And they're like, well, the younger guy,
big boy,
the younger guy is Derek.
Big boy Derek.
You know, he constantly flirts with Casey. That's what we're seeing. He, like, whenever he's in the restaurant, he's constantly flirting with her because it's Derek. Obviously,
mm-hmm.
he's just he's being Derek, but he pays a little bit more attention to Casey, which cops have seen. So they're like, he's already interested.
Exactly. 50% of the job is done.
Yeah. So is he like, so kind of get in a relationship with him and kind of become into the fold
Mm-hmm.
of what is happening because you're in this relationship with him. So Casey is hesitant to accept the police's offer. Oh, but the depression is hitting the family.
So it is the 30s.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
I remember I said this. I was when we were coming up with ideas. I'm like, ooh, the depression. Yes, it's the 30s. It's hitting the family and still affecting the family. And this might help alleviate it a bit. If she can help the cops.
And they may
Maybe
get money from
to
it.
some degree they're not getting as many people because the mob is there as well.
Maybe.
So that's another degree of why she would want them out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they pay them nicely.
Yeah. I'm sure
Like,
Derek
'cause,
is just like, here, have some more money.
Here's that $20 tip for coffee. Because he's just flaunting it, man.
Like, this 50-cent coffee.
I
Here's
know.
$20. Keep the change. I don't think you'd want them to leave at that point.
I could see him doing that at least once, though, and she'd just be like, what the heck?
Yeah, and then all his mob buddies are like, oh, big man.
Okay, but yeah, so then Derek, so I guess, all right, so Casey accepts.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I would see Nora being very, like,
Maybe she
weary
wouldn't
of it as
tell her.
well. Huh?
Maybe she wouldn't tell her.
Maybe.
But if she...
But it would be weird, like, all of a sudden, like, Casey's not around anymore, so I feel like she should know that there's a plot to it.
That, or she pays extra attention to the mob randomly at the restaurant.
Right,
She's like, why are you hanging out with these dudes?
So I think she needs to tell her mom in some capacity that, like, she's part of this plot, but I think Nora would be very scared because obviously her husband died because of mob violence, and she's like, I don't want you in the fold with all of this. I don't want you to... But I guess, like, in a way, it's like, if you don't, they're going to continue being here, so we're always going to be in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Very catch-22.
Indeed.
So, okay, so I guess one day that they're at the restaurant, Derek obviously is flirting with her still.
And she's like...
and he's like,
ugh.
let me take you out for a nice night on the town. And, like, he says this all the time.
Yeah.
Hoping that one of the times... Again, this is a very, like, no, Derek. But obviously this is back in the day, so that wouldn't have happened. Yeah. And he would have kept shooting his shot.
Yeah, he would have. Times were different.
Yes. So he'd be like, let me take you out. Let me take you out somewhere nice. I can show you a good time.
I know a good spaghetti restaurant.
So eventually, and then this time, Casey's like, okay. And he's like,
okay.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I will show you the best time.
I'll give you that best spaghetti linguine you've ever had.
They got some really good garlic bread.
Oh man, garlic bread seals the deal though, let's be real. Who doesn't like a good garlic bread?
So, she doesn't know what to expect, but obviously Derek surprises her because he's actually kind of, like, very gentlemanly and, like, all this other stuff. Something that, like, even the real Derek on the show would do. Like, you see constantly that Casey thinks he's, like, this terrible person, but then later she learns that he's actually really good on dates, and he treats his, like, dates with a lot of respect and everything.
But here's the difference, though. It's because they don't live together, so that's, like, two different sides that Casey, like, takes a while to see, but since they're not living together, it's like...
But she still has this negative, like...
Yeah. For sure.
Negative opinion of him already because he's in the mob. 2, he's always constantly flirting with her, and he probably flirts with other patrons and everything too.
The waitresses.
Yeah. So, I mean, because he's just like anything with legs that, like, walking by, he's going to just flirt with.
What if,
like,
He wants to impress Casey and be like, I'm a good guy. So if like Lizzie's at like the restaurant doing homework on like the bar top, he's like,
Oh,
oh,
jeez.
and then it's like completely wrong math. And then Lizzie's like,
No,
thanks.
that's wrong.
That's wrong, but thank you. I can see it.
But yeah, like basically after this date, he was like, "Oh, so I'm in." So he like completely. It's basically just Casey then.
Here's my
Like
thing though.
kind of.
I saw a tweet that was about
Mhm.
like Italians, and it was like Italians always tell people they have that good spot to eat, but it's actually their grandmother's house or something. So it was like, what if he's like, I know the best place for spaghetti, but it's like his house and it's his dad's recipe.
Oh, who was that aunt that we saw that's in the Christmas episode? But it's in season 3. We haven't
I
watched
don't
it yet.
know her name.
But that could be the person he goes to
Yeah,
because like his grandparents have died or
but
something.
she
So he
has the
goes to the
recipe. She's got it.
yeah. So she makes it for him and everything, and like
Yeah.
she's just like, okay, this is really awkward. I'm like at his like aunt's house or
Aunt.
something.
Or maybe she has her own place as well because it's the money.
That
They
could
have
be
to
possible
launder
too.
the money somehow. So maybe she has her own like.
Okay, so she has her own restaurant,
Mhm.
and like she comes over and she like uses his cheeks. Hey, yo, Derek, how are you? Look at you, you're so handsome.
Big boy.
Oh, and who's this beautiful gal you got?
Oh man. Oh jeez.
So yeah, okay. So he goes to his aunt's restaurant, who has the best Italian food.
Mhm.
But then it makes sense. Like, but I guess like maybe you don't want to have that connection, so that's why they don't hang out there.
Exactly, and at McDonald's, they go to McDonald's.
Yeah. It's not Venturi's though. It's something else. Something else
It's
Italian, but
like
whatever.
Mama Leone's. I don't know what's an Italian name.
I don't know.
Mama Leone's. That's I don't know.
I have to look up her name on the see if it's in like the thing.
Mama
Continue
Augusta. I
though.
don't know what would it something Italian, but see, all I'm like visioning is like you know those like wine bottle candles that have like the wicker basket like wrapping on them. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, her name's Aunt Madge.
Oh, that makes it difficult.
Mama Madge.
Mama Margaritas.
Mark.
Maybe that's what it is. She's Mad Margarita. Is that even Italian or is that like Spanish?
I don't know. I thought it was Spanish. But
Okay, well, in our story, it's Italian.
Mama Madge Margarita.
Well, isn't there like a pizza that's like a margarita pizza and that's like the old schoolish pizza ever? It's like basil, mozzarella, and that's it. Like tomato sauce, like blobs of mozzarella, and like basil leaves. It's like a margarita pizza. I don't know. Anyway, so they go there. Maybe she's never had like Italian food, so maybe she's like blown away by it.
That could be possible too. Like they just basically stick to whatever they've been like growing up with. Like there was no real like fast food restaurants like in that day.
Yeah.
Like McDonald's was the first.
McDonald's. Not the McDonald's, but
like,
McDonald's.
Especially at that time, I feel like everyone was eating their own food.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Well, have you seen all of you must
and plus
have.
it was the Depression, so no people weren't really going out to eat.
It's true. But you've seen all of Bomb Girls, yeah?
I didn't really watch the first season.
Okay, because in the first season, one of the people gets she's given spaghetti and she's the first time she's ever had it in the 40s. So maybe it is something that people don't usually eat.
Well, especially because obviously in the 40s the Italians were
but it was like she was
so that's
introduced
possible,
to it.
yeah.
So she was introduced to it and she was like in her 30s or something. So maybe it makes sense then. So, yeah, so she gets introduced to like tortellini, linguine, spaghetti. And then she's like, oh my
This is
god,
amazing.
this is amazing. And then it's like, oh, but try the tiramisu. And she's like, oh my god.
I'll stick around just for the food.
Exactly. I need this recipe. And put a spin on it from McDonald's.
Oh. Okay, so she goes to this first date with Derek. It's surprisingly very nice. And she almost forgets about the whole thing. But then, like, at the end of the night, she's like, oh shit, no, like, this is just me. This is a mission,
I
basically.
can't have fun.
I'm not supposed to be having fun. Like, I'm supposed to, like, hate this guy and try him to get him, like, in trouble with the police and everything. But, so, then it goes on with, like, what you were saying, where, like, Derek's really trying at the hospital. Oh my God.
He's trying at the hospital.
At the restaurant. At the restaurant. He's trying to help Lizzie with her homework, even though that's not it.
Oh,
so what he
man.
does? You know what he does then, though?
What?
Because he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry that I make that like worse for you," and then he brings over Edwin.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Edwin, help her with her math. You're good with your math.
You're good with numbers."
Like, let's just say because he's like a year or so older, maybe.
Yeah. You're good with numbers.
Yeah, you're good with numbers. Help her.
Yeah.
Like, he makes it like a threatening thing because he's the enforcer. He's like, "You're good with numbers. Help her.
Help her so
And then
you can
it's
help
like-
me."
Yeah." And then Lizzie's like, it's fine. No, you're going to do your homework right, and it's going to be good. They're going to think you're smart, and you're going to go places.
Not that you're not smart, but...
No, yeah. But he's just like, he's trying to elevate the whole family.
Yeah, he's trying to elevate them. But
Yeah.
but you know what? Edwin and Lizzie get along really well, though.
Oh, yeah, and that's going to, like, start their friendship on this level.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, Lizzie's actually not really bad at math.
No, not at all. He has no issues.
And Edwin's going to
whatsoever.
realize this really quickly, and he's like, "You don't need my help, do you?" And she's like, "No, not really, but it's nice to talk to you."
It's nice to have someone my age in here.
Yeah. So, they just, like, under the guise of that he's, like, helping her with schoolwork, they're just friends. They become friends.
Nora's, like, oblivious to this. She's too busy working in the kitchen making those nuggies.
Poor Nora.
Poor
Nora.
She's not going to meet George in this. I'm sorry, guys. There's going to be no... What's that ship name?
Jorah?
Jorah. There's going to be no Jorah. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no Jorah.
She's too busy making some chicken nuggies in the back. She can't. She has no time.
She's too busy making chicken nuggets, and George is too busy running a whole mob,
Yeah.
So...
While being a
It's not
lawyer
gonna happen.
at the same time.
Yeah, that's a heavy caseload.
It is, because you know what? He didn't divorce Abby. She was murdered. So he very much loves her still in this.
And somewhat recently, like, for both of them, they both recently lost their
Yeah.
thing. So maybe eventually down the line it'd be possible, but right now, no.
There's no Jorah. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So eventually, things are going to be going good with Derek and Casey, to the point that Derek invites her over for dinner at his actual place.
It's the actual good spot.
Yeah. So we were thinking that, she's like, "Shit, I've been made."
Yeah, they gotta get me.
Because, like, they found out that she's, like, against them and everything.
Yeah. I've been
Because,
got.
like, maybe they were acting, like, really suspicious. Like, maybe Derek was, like, acting, like, really off. Like, because he was, like, nervous to, like, bring her over and everything. Like, she knows their whole family, but this is, like, on a more intimate level.
Ooh, what if,
And they probably never met Marty, though, because they don't want to bring her anywhere, like, bad.
But maybe, what if, like... Because you were saying they're all suspicious. What if she would, like, go deliver their coffee or something at McDonald's, and every time she would show up, they'd stop talking, right? But it was not because they were suspicious, but it was because Derek was like, "What if I do this?" They're trying to plan things. For,
they're trying to plan, like, the dinner or something.
Yeah. And then, so every time she'd come by, they'd stop and be like, "Yeah, you can go. Okay, bye." Kind of thing. She's like, "Oh
So
shit."
yeah, so she's like super like worried. She's like, "Shit, I've been made."
Paranoid.
They're going to bring me to their house and like kill me, and then
yeah, I feel it.
So she's like, but she goes anyway, And this is where she meets Marty, and she's like, oh my god, like, he has a little sister that's like pretty young for the most part. And, she sees how Derek interact with Marty, similar to how it's on the show. And I think that's like when she really starts falling for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he would be a great father. Because that stuff wasn't really important, especially back then.
That's what makes it so funny to me.
What?
It makes it so funny to me. It's because like how important that was back then. It's like, oh my god.
He'd be such a good father.
It's so funny.
He's part of this huge mob family and everything, but he's so good with his like little sister. He'd be such a good father.
He's such a good father. Never the mind that he's gonna probably die a year after they're married. He's such a good father right now. Right now is what matters.
They're probably both like at that age where like everyone's like, when are you gonna get married?
Yeah, because back then it was like, yo,
super early.
You're past the age of 15. You gotta get married.
Well, I don't know if it was that young, but basically like at 18 and like basically at 20, like most people were like getting married already.
Have you seen the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
Yes.
You know the dad? And he's like, you look so old. When are you gonna get married? She's like, he's been telling me that since I was 15. That's what came to my mind.
It's terrible.
I love that movie so much.
Anyway. Oh yeah, it's funny.
Anyway, so maybe like she meets Marty and maybe like if no one's able to watch Marty, they're like, oh, can Casey's like, well, you can drop her off at the restaurant, we can watch her there. So it's like she gets more integrated, and like Lizzie's
she has like a female like
role model.
Right. We can teach her to cook.
Ooh, that's selling it now. They're going, that's like prize possession for the Italians. Oh, you can teach her to cook. She can make spaghetti now. Oh. But no, like,
and of course, like model. maybe Marty slips how like, oh, Derek really likes you, Casey, and like all this like little things that like little kid Marty would definitely say, like even though it's supposed to be a secret.
Mm-hmm.
So like Casey knows she's in, but she doesn't necessarily want the cops to know how like deep she's in because she's like having conflicting feelings.
Yeah.
So like the cops, they see her every like so periodically, and they're like, "How are things going?" And it's like, "Okay."
What information do you got for us? They like spaghetti. They make a mean spaghetti at Mama Margarita's.
Because yeah, even saying like they're related to that woman might be like an in to like for them to investigate over there a little bit more to find cracks over there. So like even if she were to say something like that, that's something else. Like, but she doesn't say anything. Like,
yeah. Here's the bad part about this whole thing. We literally got to the end of our notes, and I'm like, there's no way this story could end with heartbreak. How are we gonna end this story on a bad note?
I think maybe Casey just ends up telling the police, like, I really don't think you have a case. Like, I don't know, somehow convince them that they're not doing anything illegal.
Or, which the cops won't believe that at all.
Well, I know they won't, but like, I don't know. I don't know how to...
Or she, like, fesses up to Derek.
And they kill all the police?
No! I don't know how... Maybe, like...
I mean, I think eventually she's going to have to tell Derek. Like, maybe he sees her talking to this other guy, and at first he thinks, like, oh, you cheating on me? Like, something like that. Like, I thought we had something good here. It's like, no, I'm not cheating on him. But it's like they were in, like a small, like, place, like the closet or something.
The closet!
Because they're trying to keep this, like, hush-hush.
Hush-hush.
And so, he's like, well, if you're not with him, like, with him, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
and then maybe he even like has someone tail the guy and find out he's a cop. So like I don't know, like but I don't know how Casey would get herself out of that.
I don't know. This is very difficult. Maybe this is one of the things we should leave like open, and then the listeners can tell us how they think it ends.
Well, I think Casey, you know, maybe whether she tells Derek or Derek finds out and he confronts her, she's like, "Listen, yes, this was kind of conducted by the police, but I haven't told them anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't have a choice on whether we wanted to be involved in this or not.
Like my
Because
family needs money.
regardless, yeah, and like my family needs money. Like I felt like I was in a very hard place that I couldn't say no. But I haven't told the cops anything in regards to anything with your business or anything like that. But she does know stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to take Derek a second, but he's going to believe her.
Mm-hmm.
So because one, he knows how Casey is. Like she can't really lie.
Yeah, but that being said, that's a double-edged sword, so she can't lie to the police either.
But I think also like she can say like, "Oh, I don't even know if I have information that's useful."
You know, I got some good information. This is the recipe for Mama Margarita's linguine, and it's gold.
It is the spot.
It's a spicy meatball.
Yeah, it's just such a like because I feel like no matter what, Derek's gonna eventually believe Casey, but it's the situation of how do they stop the police involvement? Do they just pay them off or like?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because isn't it like a time period where like
Everyone's being paid off and
everyone's
shit,
paid
like,
off? Yeah. So maybe wouldn't surprise me.
I feel like that's the only way to go about it. Like they just have to pay off the police.
So this is why
Because
I'm
like I think like because I don't know if they would necessarily listen to Casey if she's saying like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because I feel like they would also, you know, go against her and her family if she was suddenly like against them in a way. I don't know. You put us in a corner, Vanessa.
I know. I'm so sorry. It was such a good story idea that I ran off with it and then never concluded.
Finished.
I never gave it a conclusion. That's why I'm like, yo, why don't we just leave it to the viewers / listeners and be like, tell us how you think it's gonna end, and then we can be like, we announce the winner on the next episode.
We announce the winner on the next episode.
Whoever has the best, we choose. We go through the entries of endings, and we'll be like, and this has been ended. The ending is when, yeah.
The problem with that though is that by the time this goes up, we might have like done like one or two other podcasts.
You know what? Why you gotta hurt me like this? I was trying to get viewer engagement, and now
I mean, we can still ask them, obviously, and then we can still like let people know that, but it might not be the next podcast that it gets said.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. Or you just, if it is recorded, then we go special announcement randomly at the end. The winner. No.
The winner.
We probably want to like discuss them though. So you're right. You right. But you know what's the greatest part about this like Mafia AU? Is the style. These guys gonna be walking out with their like fedoras and their suits. We got style.
Oh, people are saying they liked your idea for the new spin-off.
Ooh, which one?
Where Derek's the father of all Casey's children. And they just been hiding it the whole time. It's like, Derek, you have to live with Casey now. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I've been living there the whole time, though.
Yeah, I've lived there the whole time, and these are definitely not my children.
And Luca.
Skaluka. Like in Skaluka.
But it's funny though because we're talking about the Venturis and they're Italian and being in Toronto. Well, I watched this one reviewer on
Mm-hmm.
what the hell is it? YouTube,
Yeah.
and he watched this movie called Little Italy,
I was going to say something about Italy and Little Italy. I was going to actually mention that.
and that there's a Little Italy apparently in Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where this movie took place.
Okay.
And they have like these like rival pizza shops.
Oh. Is that how he died? He crossed a battle between the rival pizza shops, and that's how Dennis died?
But yeah, like when we were talking about, like these Italians and like,
Oh my god.
being in Toronto, that's where my mind went. Like, this like little area where like they have Little Italy and there was these like rival pizza shops and
Ooh, I'm reading about this of like Italians in Canada. And it's a good thing they came between where we said in the early 1900s because they started immigrating in like the late 1800s, early 1900s, but
they stopped it.
they stopped it in 1924. They restricted immigration from Italy because of like
Mussolini.
the fascist government policy and everything. Yeah, so it's a good thing they made it there before this time. But if we're gonna fast forward,
That's what makes me wonder when everyone in my family immigrated over. I don't remember.
Are you
I don't
Italian?
know, I'm part Italian. Yeah,
Oh
my
man,
grandmother.
you got that good spaghetti linguine tortellini recipe then?
I know my grandmother makes great meatballs.
Ooh, my friend.
Like they're like this. They're like a baseball size
See, here's
meatballs.
oh good. Here's the thing. I have some friends from school, and this is great because the dad's Italian and the mom's Scottish. So that's fantastic. So kind of goes into this. But they're divorced, so I've never met the dad. But she has like a ridiculous lasagna recipe, the mom. And it's to die for. Like every time I would go over, I'm like, is lasagna being made? She's like, you know it. You grate that mozzarella. And I was like, oh my goodness.
I love lasagna.
It was so
So
good.
good.
Like, those huge blocks that are like that big of like mozzarella?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like, I need you to grate that whole block. And I'm like, yes, please. And I was like, I will do it for this recipe, fam.
Yeah. So.
Any questions?
But. Any questions?
Any questions from the Toombles? Let's
Oh,
check.
I thought you were saying like me. Like, do you have any questions?
Do you have any questions of this AU that I have dropped upon us?
An ending.
I hope that we will never meet. It's never gonna happen.
I mean, I would love
Yeah.
to go to Vancouver
area.
Well, I would love to go to Vancouver.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I would want to go to a ferry just to go over to see you, but I would if I had to.
You mean to see the capital of the province? Sure you do.
Oh, no one, like, if you go to Pennsylvania, you rarely want to go to Harrisburg,
Okay,
which is our capital.
I was about to say Pittsburgh. I was like, Philadelphia, is that the capital? No? Pittsburgh?
Nope, it's Harrisburg, and there's literally nothing there.
Oh. Sounds
I mean,
fantastic.
there's a battleground from, like, the Civil War, I think, but...
That's why people want to go. They want to see
No, there's literally nothing there. I went to the Capitol.
They want to see the Confederacy get stomped.
There's literally no one there.
Yeah.
The Capitol is boring as all hell.
Well.
Just because something's a capital doesn't mean it's the big lake.
Yeah, well, I have Bouchard
Like with New
Garden.
York, the capital is freaking Albany.
See?
Who goes to
I'm
Albany?
so glad you know that because people are like, no, the capital of New York is New York. And I'm like, no.
No. I like to think I know most of the state's capitals.
I don't know any other than New York not being it.
Yeah, it's Albany.
Albany. The Albany River Rats hockey team.
I think New Jersey is Trenton, and that's actually a big city.
Maybe. I
So-
don't know. I've never been.
Well,
Never
have you
been.
ever even been on the East Coast?
I've lived on the East Coast in Canada.
Well, I mean in the
No. I think I've probably been to Maine. If anything, I was probably like a fetus. And I've went
before they even like put up the borders. Like,
yeah,
you know what I
like
mean?
I was probably like 1 or 2, so I don't remember. We went to Old Orchard Beach in Maine.
That's why like I hate the freaking borders, just because like I know there's places along the lines, and I think there's a couple places where it's like you live down the road, like that side's Canada and this side's like the United States,
Mhm.
and like your family lives down the road, but you literally have to go around to the checkoff points, which are like a couple hours away,
God,
just to visit them, even though they're down the road.
it's horrible.
And then what is it? There's like I remember watching, I think it's called How the States Got Their Shapes,
Okay.
where I watched this, and they were talking about how like when they enforce the borders, there's this house or business, I think it's like a bookshop or something, that lies.
It like lies on the line, so they have to make a curve around it or something.
Well, it lies, like some of it's in Canada, some of it's in the United States. So they have an entrance for the United States, an entrance for the Canada,
Mhm.
and they have to strictly enforce, because like they can like go around the whole thing, but the people from the United States cannot go out the Canada side, and the people in Canada can't go out the United States side.
Jesus.
That's just such a headache.
Yeah.
So we're just talking more about Canada and the United States.
I'm just saying, what else are the questions we got? Let's see. We'll never meet. We've done that. It's too expensive.
You're very pessimistic.
Too
You know, like I like
expensive.
to think that
You're gonna
it could
travel
happen.
in this economy?
No, not now. It wouldn't be anytime soon.
Let's see. Any? Not really any questions.
Ooh, so someone put, hear me out. What if Derek and Casey couldn't hold it in any longer and released all that pent up tension one crazy night in university? And then they were so ashamed and scared of their feelings that they didn't tell anyone and kept avoiding each other for years.
Ooh.
Like that's why they haven't really like spoken or anything, and that's why their kids don't know each other.
Ooh.
I like
it.
that. That was from Miss Lyra GW. Ooh, which is what I meant to say. You have to watch her. To anyone listening, Miss Lyra GW on YouTube, she created a Derek Venturi like character piece like video to that song "I'll Be Good."
Okay.
I thought it was amazing.
Okay.
It's good.
All right, let me.
It shows the complexity of Derek.
The complexity? The complexity?
Well, because he's an asshole, but he's an asshole with a heart. You know what I mean?
I feel it. You're so right. Anyway. Well, maybe that's another one. That's another AU we'll have to venture into. That scenario.
Yeah, but
this time you'll take point. Because I forget dates and conclusions.
Oh. Yeah, I'll try to make sure it's an actual, like, full AU if we do one.
Listen.
Hey, I already brought up superheroes.
I'm shook.
What do you think Derek and Casey's superpowers would be? Not to have you answer it now, but for our viewers. What powers do you think Derek and Casey would have?
I hate it.
I'm just curious. Because like that doesn't really like show like uh like a plot. But I'm just curious what people would think.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Derek would be invisible if he could,
I feel that.
just to like spy on people. Um,
Be a pervert.
yeah.
I feel you.
I don't know about Casey though. I feel like she would want to have super speed just so that she can do everything like right now. Like we gotta clean the house, clean it right now. Like she would do it for the most lamest things. Gotta finish all her homework right now.
Pretty much.
Like she would just continuously read all the books she could find, like in seconds, and like she would use it for the lamest stuff. She'd be such a nerd with it.
You know what? She'd probably be the lamest superhero there ever was, like Aquaman. Aquaman
Why
is the
gotta
lamest
knock
superhero.
Aquaman?
Dude, he literally talks to fish. That's it. I don't care if you're going, but Jason Mimosa! No. Jason Mimosa. That's his name, by the way. Not Momoa, it's Jason Mimosa. And just because he was Captain America, fuck, he was fucking Aquaman doesn't change how lame Aquaman actually is.
Well, they can. Doesn't he? Can't he manipulate the water a bit?
I don't know. All I know, he rides around on a fish. And he talks to fish. He's the lamest superhero ever.
I'm pretty sure he can manipulate water, which is actually pretty kick-ass. So
No. You know who's cooler? Spider-Man.
well, Spider-Man's always going to be like one of the cooler things.
You know
like
who's
I just
cooler?
love him.
Wonder Woman.
One.
She's got bulletproof wristbands. Amazonian. That's cool, not, oh, look at that tuna over there. I need to go tell it something.
The tuna. Oh,
Look at
shut
that
up.
chicken of the sea over there.
Gosh.
All right.
All right. Well, whatever. If you think of other AUs that you would like us to see, not like us to see, would like us to talk about, then let us know.
Just make
Okay.
Ashley do the research and write it out because Vanessa misses conclusions. She misses dates.
And she's had a while to do this.
I've had a while to do this, but I didn't do this, so. But I thought it still went well. We like came up on the spot with stuff like Mama Margaritas, and it's good.
McDonald's. McDonald's being the influence for McDonald's.
Oh man, they have some good chicken nuggies.
They make chicken nuggets so because they've been low on actual chickens.
Yeah,
They can't create the actual like
the president,
the chicken meals that people are used to, so they're like, oh, they're just in miniature form, like it's fine.
It's so you can eat them on the go
chicken nugget.
when you're on a rush. But it actually is because of the depression and they couldn't buy a whole chicken. We got it. We're good.
All right. So if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube or follow us on Twitter at OopsyDaisyPod or on Tumblr at daisy.tumblr.com.
Send us a voice message.
Listen to us on Anchor or Spotify. Review.
Send us voice messages.
Send us comments and questions, and we'll try to get to them.
Yeah. Spread.
And
show us
I
some
hope
love.
everyone's being safe.
Wear your mask.
Wear your mask. Okay. And that's it for today. Bye-bye.
Good day.
Good
This is
day.
a spicy meatball.